don't trust anybody until your money's in the bank. Sometimes unexpected events happen. You might have a friend and then he invests in Luna or FTX and he loses the money and he can't invest in you. So
I'm that friend.
Okay.
I'm the one who lost in Luna.
Alexis Sirkia is the king of blockchain, the co-founder at Yellow Network and GSR.
The global leader in crypto trading and market making.
When you get to university, you think you know a lot. And the more you advance, the more you know, that the less you know. Nobody understood crypto. It was like this illegal underground.
Because we talked about Bitcoin and payments, right? Payments is huge in the real world. Most people don't even know it's happening, but actually the trading volumes are much higher than the payment volumes out there, right?
I don't know the exact numbers. A few years ago, I think it was like 4 trillion in payments per day, which is huge. It might change in 10, 20 years if the price stabilizes.
But we have stable coins now. Stable coins.
Yeah.
How crazy was it? If I was a fly on the wall in the GSR HQ, what would I have seen during this crazy bull run where you have insane money made and lost overnight?
You win the lottery, you have all this excitement and you can't sleep. You're so happy. The next day in the morning, after a hangover or something, you just can't find the ticket. You've lost the ticket, and that's crypto,
What's your key learning from that experience?
The key learning is...
So Alex, you are the king of blockchain. Built GSR, Yellow Network, but I really want to start with. I mean, we both know you have a lot of stories. I want to know more about that. The fasting one in the south of Spain.
When I've done a few times, 14, 10. The last one was 21 days.
Juice, water, or what?
Mainly water, but some days there was a small broth of vegetable, but yeah.
You eat nothing for 21 days.
Yeah, you can do more. I was planning 28, but after 21,
I found someone with, because usually I tell people, the longest I've done only on water and broth, 9 days. And they're like, you're crazy. What is that? Etc. 21 days, beautiful.
There's a fasting clinic in the south of Spain in Marbella. It's called Butchinger.
Okay.
You can do 10 is the minimum there.
Tell us more about your experience.
Yeah, in the south of Spain, there's a fasting clinic. It's called Butchinger. My friends always make fun of me because I'm paying to not eat.
Yeah.
But for a long fast, and especially in the start when you don't know the symptoms that you should be watching for, like potassium deficiency, like some cramps that you can get. So it's good to have medical supervision for a longer fast if in the start when you don't know the symptoms to watch out for. Yeah.
Why would you do a 28 days fast? A water fast?
I was feeling very bad. My kidney was really bad. My nephrologist said, you have to start taking pills. And I said no. So I researched and I started with a fast and then I change of diet, mainly vegetarian.
But the first fast you've done is not 28 days, right?
No, I wanted to do 28. I only did 21.
Okay.
21 days.
But the first fast was 21 days. You didn't do like 5 days
no,
the
first fast was 10 days, I think.
10 days directly on water.
10 days. Mainly water. It's you get a little bit of a broth to get some minerals, but it's optional.
How did you feel during and after?
So the process of the fast on the first 3 days, it's like you're very tired, your digestion is stopping, you are entering ketosis. Around the 7th day, you start to become very alert. You start to see the colors better. You can see like a bird in a tree 400 meters away. Around the 14th day...
Other senses too, right? You smell better, you taste better, you hear better.
Smell. I mean, you can't... It's nice to do it in a clinic because if you do it in a normal place, like your sense is so strong, it's difficult. And when you're doing it with other people that are fasting, it's easy to not go into temptation of eating, and it's a little bit dangerous when you are fasting and you start eating a lot, That's a little bit dangerous. And then around the 14th to 20th day, there you start to see the aura of the colors, the aura, the colors around the people, around the trees, around the things. Like the senses are so intensified. Amazing. And maybe it's a little bit the endorphins as well that are kicking in there, and you have all these endorphins to help you go through it.
Is there an actual aura, or do you think it's more sort of like beginning of signs of hallucination?
Yeah, it's a little bit of two, yeah. And you have a lot of energy. You can do 3-4 hours exercise. That's some people think, oh, you're going to be very tired. No. But then on the 20th day...
How can you have a lot of energy when you don't eat? I mean, I understand because I've done it, but like most people don't understand the principle.
So the digesting is 40% of your energy.
Exactly.
And if you have like twice the energy and you can do sports for 3 hours and you won't be very tired. And ketosis is a very slow and long process. So you can, on ketosis, you can run a marathon and you can, so yeah.
There's actually these shots that you can take, that is ketones,
Yeah.
that help you like get into ketosis faster for sportive events.
Yeah.
And it used to be extremely like thousands of dollars, like for guys doing the Tour de France, like, 20 years ago, and then it became cheaper and cheaper, but it's still expensive.
Yeah. So the first 3 days are tired, but then on the 20th day, it changes again the body and it goes into power saving mode. And then from the 20th to 40th day, people that do longer fasts, like to 40 days, so they're starting between the 15th and the 25th day, depending on the person, you go into power saving mode. And this is a mode that you don't have all this energy anymore. And you're just very relaxed, where you can meditate and you can really think about life. The brain doesn't work as well because under ketosis, without the sugar, but it's still working quite nice for meditation and other things. Yeah. It's a nice experience.
People usually say that you can go, 4 days without water at all, food and water, and 21 days without water. And it becomes very dangerous. What's your experience? I mean, you said you stopped after
Without
21
water,
days.
with water.
So without water, 4 days.
Yeah.
And then it starts to become really dangerous.
Yeah.
Without food and water. And without food, but just water, 21 days. What's the reason you stopped after 21 days instead of 28 initially planned? I mean, which is already amazing.
One day I want to do 40. No, I was just feeling tired and I wanted to eat. So you have to listen to your body. You just listen to your body and your body will tell you when to break the fast. And sometimes you just listen to your body and you will know when to break the fast. And yeah.
When was that?
That was just before COVID, 2019.
Okay.
Around November 2019.
What changed after doing this fast?
So, well, one of the things I changed was my diet. When my nephrologist told me my kidney was so bad, so I started eating a lot more vegetables. I wanted to cut all the meat, but the nephrologist said it was dangerous for people with kidney because the potassium can go very high and then you can have a heart attack. So you still need to eat some meat and some eggs and some fish, but not too much, just a little bit, 1 time per week. Or
do you still fast every year? Like less?
I don't. Sometimes I have done intermittent fasting, like from Sunday afternoon until Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So that's 36 hours. That works well. I chose that because in Spain before, when I was there, restaurants don't open on Mondays. So it's a good day to do it, so from Sunday 7:00 until Monday morning sometime.
Awesome. So you're from Andorra.
Yeah.
You studied there, grew up there, studied there, and then you worked at the Space Center.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a bit more about that and how you moved into entrepreneurship?
Yep. So I worked in the European Space Center that is located in French Guiana, near the tropical, because it's more efficient to launch a rocket because you have the centrifugal force of the Earth helping you near the equator. So, and it's quite a stable area there regarding earthquakes and all these things. So it's a very good area to launch, and it's a French territory, so it's European Union. So I stayed there for 5 years. And I worked in software and in all the departments, started like in the ELA, Ensemble Lancement, which is the place where the countdown really happens, not what you see on the TV. It's the bunkers that are very near to the rocket. There's only a couple hundred people, and those are it's really a bunker, like hermetically closed, with its own air supply. And there we control all the systems of the rocket until launch. Then I worked in the civilian part, like for example, meteorology. And meteorology was quite tactical because it's the only system in the space center enterprise system that is connected to the outside world to get all the data from the clouds and everything, so satellite images. So it has to be connected to the outside. So the security there is very, very critical because, it's the only place connected to the outside world. So that was quite a challenge.
Did you work in Space Center because of fascination by space,
Yeah.
or because of software? And from what you told me, like it was much better paid than
Yeah, it was
the rest.
It was well paid, no, but it wasn't about the pay. It was really a fascination about space, and really, it was so nice to work with so many engineers of so many fields like fluid mechanics, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and we're all working together. And software, really, you interact with all the fields. So software is such a nice place, and so many talented people like chemical doctors. Like I remember I learned something, like this chemical doctor. I said, "What's the difference with a doctorate?" At the time I was interested in doing a doctorate. He says, "Well, when you get to university, you think you know a lot,
Mm.
and the more you advance, the more you know that the less you know." In your field, because oh, there's so much to learn. And by the time you're a doctor, you say, okay, there's so much still to be discovered and to learn, so it's a humbling experience. Yeah, that's it was very nice. All the people you meet and all the time you have to talk with them, and very, very nice.
So a great experience,
Yeah.
but not enough for you, for your hunger.
No, I liked it. I liked it, and it was good. Usually the expat contracts are 5 to 6 years. So after my 5 years went by, I applied to innovation prize, and I won it. It was an important innovation prize. I had the idea of a semantic search engine, and it worked well.
Where did this idea come from?
I always liked the idea of using understanding the text that we read like automatically, which is something very popular now. But at the time, like the semantic web was something quite novel. And the idea of like I was planning on doing a semantic understanding of news in order to do trade decisions. So that was one of the ideas of. So first I was doing this project for myself. I wanted to analyze the news.
So you mean trade decision to actually make money on the stock market, saying, oh, okay.
So I was analyzing the sentiment of news.
Nice.
And automatically to make trade decisions. And I was doing this project, and that was the real project. And
what year is that?
2005, 2006.
Okay.
So I was doing 2005, 2006. It was my own project, I liked it, and I was using Oracle. They had some libraries to analyze.
You were already investing or trading on the side? You were just thinking, oh, there's this stock market thing. People seems like they can make money. And I can use my brain and an algorithm.
No, I wasn't. I was just reading papers about people studying the subject, and really it was about using sentiment to make trade decisions. And then because I had to analyze the news, so I created this semantic search engine that could understand the news it was reading. Like separating the phrases, understanding the phrases, like separating like the phrases to understand the sentiment. And then I created this sort of semantics engine, and then I actually applied it for the price. This was my inner project, I didn't want to share. So I created a real estate search engine. So I was using the same semantic search engine to search for real estate between all the websites that had houses and apartments for sale and rent. So
what's the goal of the search engine? Just to find what would be the use of someone using that?
So all the properties, and especially in the late 2000s, were like dispersed through all the websites. There were in France, for example, there's this website Sologer, but Sologer is very famous in France, and in Spain there's Idealista. But before those, all the offer was dispersed among thousands of real estate websites, like individual agencies that had a website and they put their products there.
Okay.
And we just collected all the information and you could search it from one single place.
Okay. So you told me this search engine worked really well,
Yeah.
but the business didn't really.
Well, when 2008
Obviously.
a real estate bubble came, like all the VCs and all the banks that like had promised to help us, they turned their back on us.
What's your key learning from that experience?
The key learning is don't trust anybody until the money's in the bank. Don't trust any promises of investment. Don't trust any promises of any VCs, any banks, any friends.
Talk is cheap.
Well,
And cash is king.
Cash is king, talk is cheap, but sometimes really like unexpected events happen. You might have a friend and then he invests in Luna or FTX and he loses the money and he can't invest in you. So
I'm that friend.
Okay.
I'm the one who lost in Luna.
Yeah. So sometimes it's not that they don't believe in you. It's uncontrolled. So really work hard on getting that money in your bank.
Okay. What happened afterwards?
So afterwards, I started using the technology to help other friends in their businesses, like scanning prices to sell instruments and using scanning manufacturer websites to download all the information of products to automatically create product descriptions and photographs and everything. And that worked more or less well, but selling online is the difficult business with low margins and big competition.
So what you learned there is like, you want higher margins. Higher margins are better, basically.
Exactly.
Because selling a lot and doing a lot of revenue at scale, but with low margin is a lot of efforts for not much reward. We were talking about that. And actually the fact that most entrepreneurs or most businesses are people working on their own terms, which often is not 9 to 5. They leave the 9 to 5 to do a 9 to midnight, right? First, you work twice as much.
62.
But second, they leave a stable pay to earn a salary, not to build you have your own company, but what you're doing at the end of the day is you're working much more and you're basically paying yourself a salary, which is could be not that great or could be great, but you're actually not building a valuable company with equity. Yeah. And therefore, at some point, you're probably going to think sooner or later, after a year or 5 or 10, why am I doing that? I'm working much more and like I'm earning good. Okay, I love what I'm doing.
Yeah, the hourly salary is it's probably lower.
Exactly. Salary, if you think about hourly salary, exactly, it's much lower.
But my mother said that, so there was 3 people, there was 2 friends, and my mother was helping them with their different business selling online. And what she said, it's like eating soup with a fork. Okay, that's a Spanish expression. She felt like we're making so much money. It's like eating soup with a fork. You have to eat all the time. And it's like a lot of work, and it's like you get very little. You get very little profit. So the good business is eating soup with a big spoon. Or directly from the bowl.
Exactly, honestly, you eat directly from the bowl.
I guess that's crypto for some people, eating soup directly from the bowl. And there's the opportunity in crypto that doesn't exist in other fields. Yeah.
So at some point, a friend of yours called you.
Yeah.
And it's the beginning of GSR. What happened?
So my friend, he was more from the finance world, and I was more from the tech software world. And so that's fintech, finance and tech. That's a fintech company. So it's the perfect couple. So he knew about market making, and this client asked us to help him market make Ripple at the time, 2013. And he really knew about market making. I knew about software, and we booked Riyadh in Morocco. And we spent a few days there, and he told me, okay, now you have to do this market making, put the bid and ask. He explained me everything about the order book. He was very patient with me, and he was a very good teacher. And after they left for a while, spent around, and I was coding there.
So he's a market maker at Goldman Sachs, like
previously,
so he knows the market making business perfectly well.
Yeah.
He realizes there's this amazing opportunity to help market make in crypto, which which might be very profitable.
It was a new
It's a new
field.
thing, yeah.
In 2013,
And
there
you
wasn't anybody.
are basically a nerd who loves to code and needs to learn the market making business, but then out of that you can basically create the magic and the code around that, right?
Yeah. And we did a really good job between his understanding of the business and my execution of the code. We were really ahead of the competition, like 4 to 8 times more performant than the next market maker they hired. We really crushed all the competitors, and we were really doing a better job. Our algos were just working so much better.
But this is 2013, right?
We started 2013, 14, it became like more active, and 15, 16.
So 14 becomes more active, but then there is the beginning of a bear market in crypto, right? There is the Mt. Gox hack, and then sending crypto into winter for 2 years. So how do you, were you making money at that point? Were you able to leave from that? You told me like there was problems to even take the money out.
Yeah.
Because first it's illiquid, paid in token, in XRP. You cannot sell them, but also you have all this money that you're making, which you can take out of your bank because they don't allow you. Yeah. So how do you survive?
So the XRP, by the time we started doing liquidity, it was liquid because we were market makers. We were adding liquidity, and the market became liquid. When we started, there was like 10% spread. And when we started working, we put it down to 3%, 1%, 0.5%, and now there is basically no spread. So the market was liquid, but our contract said that we had to keep the XRP, and we're happy we kept them sometime. But eventually, after like the first year, and we could sell some XRP, and we had some. We had some dollars, and we tried to send them to the bank. The first time we tried to send them, they closed our bank account. The banks, 2014, 2015, they were not crypto friendly. They were very crypto unfriendly. Like if you said you were dealing with crypto, they would just close your account. So you couldn't use it. Even if you had dollars in some exchange, you couldn't really withdraw them.
So you have tokens which have like a lot of value on paper, but you can't really use.
Yeah.
And even if you sell them for actual dollars or euros, you can't use those dollars or euros because no bank will take them because they know it's from crypto.
Exactly.
So essentially you have good money or great money, but you can't use it. So how did you survive? You even told me that you had a girlfriend who told you, hey, you should go back to your space center job, right? Because what the hell are you doing with your crypto things?
Yeah. So I had some crazy girlfriend at the time, and she was telling me,
crazy, or she was more on earth and like, okay, like look,
both.
Okay.
So she was telling me, leave your job, what is this you're doing? Like I don't understand. You're not getting any money. It's just this. She didn't understand. Nobody understood crypto. It was like this illegal underground thing. But at least Ripple was the more business player because they were like trying to approach banks, and so it wasn't as bad as Bitcoin.
So this is 2015. You survive with your own economy plus like some money that you make there that you still manage, I guess, to take out at some point. Yeah. And then 2016 happens, the beginning of the new bull run.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about what happened there?
So
like 2016, 17, like.
So 2014, we invested in Ethereum on the ICO that was like 27 cents. And so you couldn't put it in your bank account, that you could reinvest it into other coins, and so we bought some Ethereum in their ICO, and then we sold it after, and then we went into all these other ICOs that 2016 they happened, like Lisk and Economy. There's all these very old names that don't exist anymore.
So ETH 27 cents, like top of the bull run, 1.4K. So that's.
No,
we probably sold earlier, but that would be like
sold earlier, yeah.
That would be like 6,000x return.
Probably 10,000x, yeah. If we 10,000x, if we sold it at 2, yeah.
But on the market making business, like there is all these coins, and like you're probably market making for quite a few of them. Like how crazy was it? If I was a fly on the wall in the GSR HQ or office, what would I have seen like during this crazy bull run where you have insane money made and lost overnight?
Yeah, it was a bit like you win the lottery and you get this. You're on the night and you see, oh, I won the lottery. It's amazing. You have all this excitement and you can't sleep because you're so happy. And the next day in the morning, after a hangover or something, you just can't find the ticket. You've lost the ticket, and that's crypto. You win the lottery, and the next day you've lost the lottery ticket, and it's terrible for your nerves. It really, really takes. I mean, new traders in crypto, it's what they find. It's very, very difficult to endure, and it takes some like zen and some control to be able to survive these cycles.
But that's on the personal side. On the market making side, I mean, obviously you said we invested in E, so like more investors, but like market making doesn't really matter as long as there is volatility, right?
At the time until 2018 or something, we were paid in tokens, so it did matter. Our whole profit was in the price of the project we were market making for.
Okay, and you couldn't sell them, or they were going up, so like, I'm not selling that.
So my partner took care of the sales. He was quite conservative, so he managed to always like not sell at the highest, but always like rake some profit. And my partner was quite conservative. I'm more of a holder. He was more conservative. Like if you do 10x, it's in traditional finance. Tell your banker what product in your bank gives you 1,000%. So yeah.
So this is next one is that comes to my mind is, how did you deal with mental health? Because you said this is crazy, and everyone is, you can print millions or tens of millions overnight or even more and then lose them. And obviously in the beginning, it literally fries your brain. Yeah. Like all of my friends who made the most money in crypto, and especially like young ones, 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, some kept it. The first cycle, everybody loses all their money, but then second cycle, they kept a lot of it, and they basically made it according to most people's, definition of making it in life in terms of money. But they're depressed because their brain dopamine receptor is completely fried, because this is like a gambling addiction, but on steroids, because it's 24/7 and it's so intense. Yeah. So how did you deal with that?
So, well, the nephrologist, it was an awakening call. They're telling you, hey, your kidney is suffering, and it's partly due to the stress. So once they tell you that, it was like stage 3 kidney insufficiency.
And what does stage 4 look like?
Stage 4 is you have to do dialysis.
Okay.
Stage 5, you have to have a transplant.
Okay.
So it was there, like stage 3 is already serious, So she tells me, so you think about what are your priorities in life. And then when you think about it as an engineer, you think, okay, my priorities is my family. So, and then you understand. And then there's this is what's important. And in the grand scheme of things, making or losing money is important, but it's not the end of the world. It's not like losing a family member, or it's like, so in perspective, it's a thing that happens, and you just have to be ready for it. Traders have to be ready for it. There's things that help, like sleeping enough. You have to have a healthy sleep cycle. I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way because 2017 I was sleeping like 3 hours. It was so crazy. 3 hours for months.
People don't realize, but it's not when things go down that it's the worst. It's when things go up. Yeah. Like your adrenaline is so high, it's completely crazy. Like you can't handle that in the beginning.
And then, like around January, December 2017, and then like around late December, early January, I mental breakdown. I have to sleep. The doctor tells me, you're not sleeping. It's normal. You have to sleep. So started sleeping, normal sleeping hours. I said, I'm more efficient. I'm actually working better. My brain is more clear. I'm working better. So realize my priorities, and then realize what I want to do in life. And it's not all about making money that made me happy. It was more the building value. And that's what I really like. Like instead of like still making money, but building that instead of making money with money, which was what we did at GSR, it was I thought that what would make me happy as an engineer, it was building value, and then make money is like a certification of the success of
Yeah,
the value you
exactly.
have built, you know.
It's a proof of success, but it's not the actual
But
driver or thing that
yeah,
will make you
so
happy.
that's why I started Yellow. It was getting the priorities right. We made enough money with GSR, and then I just wanted to do something that was more me and focus on my family.
So this is 2018, right? In 2018, 19?
Yeah,
How big is GSR when you leave? In terms of number of
maybe
people, revenue?
40, 50 people.
Okay.
40, 50, or maybe 25. Between 20, it grew very fast. I can't remember. Between 25 and 50.
And now?
250.
250.
Yeah.
And you go and you say, I'm going to build the next thing
Yeah.
that makes more sense to me, which
Yeah.
is Yellow Network,
Exactly. So,
which is why you're called Alexis Yellow.
no, actually, I'm called Alexis Sirkia,
Yes.
but
Which is why you call yourself Alexis Yellow.
but just it's like
Branding until the nails, we would say in French.
yeah.
Okay. Why did you build Yellow? Maybe to explain the thing, start with the normal banking system and explaining clearing houses, and then we can explain that in kind of a decentralized way.
Yep. So what I realized at GSR is that, and what sort of hurt me, you know, that Satoshi had done this wonderful decentralized payment like system, but all Bitcoins were traded centrally, including the ones in Uniswap. It was just trading around this a single smart contract.
Mm.
And in the traditional world of like banking, when I send money from your bank account in Singapore to my bank account in Thailand, you know, it's actually like thousands upon thousands of banks collaborating together on a payments network with different networks like regional networks connected through Swift internationally or through Ripple or through all these things. But actually the banking system is decentralized. It's very inefficient, but it hurt me that Satoshi was doing a payments system, and it was
Because that was the initial peer-to-peer cash,
peer-to-peer
electronic
cash
payments, right?
So it was resistant, you know, from the perspective of the government. You know, you can't really control Bitcoin, but it was, you didn't have third party trust. But when you wanted to trade it, because it's only like a one-way system, you know, so you have to trade it on a centralized exchange, and that's sort of there's something wrong about it, you know. It's
a criticism that a lot of people, especially Bitcoiners, true Bitcoiners, like always said.
Yeah, and solutions like this
Thorchain, for
P2P
example,
or Thorchain maybe, you know, but they're really always like around a central system. And what I liked of the banking system is that it gives people choice, and you want to be with DBS and you trust DBS. So there's still third party trust, but it's the exchange you trust. But your counterparty doesn't need to be on the same bank. But if you go to Binance, you can only trade against people on Binance. Okay. So my idea was, my idea and my partner. So we merged with another company that's called Openware to build this project, because they had this exchange software and we had the market making and trading experience. And we thought between the two, we can really make this happen. And the idea was to bring the liquidity of all the exchanges into this network, or these yellow nodes, and be able to trade locally in the yellow node the liquidity of the exchanges, and effectively have what you have in the banking system when you're sending like money from one bank to the other. It's you send me 100,000 and maybe I'm going to send some other customer of like Bangkok Bank is going to send 50,000 the way of your bank. And in the end of the day, there will be a settlement. So even if you're effectively sending me $100,000 and maybe another customer sending $50,000, on the end of the day, there will be a settlement for the difference, and maybe only $50,000 are effectively going to be sent from one bank to the other.
To make the whole thing more efficient.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
effectively, one customer of the Singapore bank is sending one customer of the Thai bank $100,000 effectively. So the idea of Yellow Network is the same. Effectively, one customer of Binance will be able to trade against a customer of Bitstamp or Kraken or Coinbase, because while paying people to bring the liquidity, the protocol is how do you call, the protocol is rewarding the people bringing the liquidity into the ecosystem, and you're opening channels for so you stake some yellow tokens and you open a channel with the exchanges, and the exchanges themselves sometimes can also bring that liquidity. That's a choice.
Why is it important to break this basically liquidity silos? So we have an exchange there, people trade there, another exchange there, people trade there. It could be a centralized exchange like Binance, could be a decentralized exchange, decentralized like Uniswap. Why is it important to basically connect everyone together? Who benefits and why is it not done yet?
So for example, in traditional world like NASDAQ, when you're trading Tesla, most of the like 400 to 500 people that have direct access to NASDAQ, it's only 400 to 500 people. It's not too many. So these are the trading firms that have access to trade directly. But finally, there is some secondary venues where you can trade Tesla, but really most of the trading happens directly and efficiently against the order book on NASDAQ. And there's only one venue where you're trading Tesla USD in one main venue. Like there's all these brokers that are giving instructions, but effectively all ends, it's like a V, all ends up in the same place. But in crypto, it's not like a V, it's more like a W that doesn't end. It's like, because when you're trading Bitcoin USD, you can trade it on Binance, Kraken, Bitfinex, Coinbase, and I don't know, 100 other venues where you're trading almost the same pairs, and that's super inefficient because, you're this trader that is used to accessing efficiently, like super high speed and everything. And the best price always, and you're trying to access one venue and you expect to have like everything there. And in crypto, it's not what's happening. So with Yellow Network, by bringing the liquidity of the different exchanges into it's a central place, but it's a decentralized network. It's a mesh network.
So a logical question would be, why do people choose Binance or Coinbase or another exchange to trade? And one of the logical answer could be, okay, liquidity, but also could be just regulations where I'm based, right?
Yeah.
And so if that's, tell me if it's correct, but like it's probably, I can't trade on any exchange anywhere. Sometimes I'm just limited to what I'm allowed to by law. So how does it work with Yellow Network now? If you're on the top of everything,
no, but you can choose
regulation.
In the Yellow node, you can choose which order book you're trading. If you're trading Binance or Huobi, and if you can't like trade Huobi because of regulation, you don't need to trade, but you have the option to trade. So the difference is, so we work like engineers and we try to understand what are the problems that traders are having. So from what I learned at GSR and after like interviewing traders and understanding their problems, that's what we built Yellow. And really what traders want is speed of execution, speed of connectivity, and capital efficiency. Those are the three most important things that we're solving in Yellow Network. We're solving connectivity, by having we will be connecting through market makers and through ourselves. We will be connecting high speed to all the exchanges, okay, through like these connectivity networks. So all these people that are not used to that, like these 400, 500 traders, they're not used to having to deal with all these crazy connectivity to be able to connect to Binance or Kraken or.
You mean 400 or
or
500 traders? You mean like the big trading firms
Exactly.
in the normal world, right?
Exactly.
Not in the crypto world, in the normal
Exactly.
world.
So
Because your goal is to help them bring liquidity and come and trade in crypto.
exactly.
That's the reason why
Exactly.
yellow.
So
Okay.
speed of connectivity through connectivity, speed of execution. That's what I'm most excited about, and that's really going to be revolutionary. In phase 2 of Yellow Network, instead of connecting through API to the exchanges, you can compile in WebAssembly your trading model, and you can rent a slot on the Yellow node, which is effectively like a matching engine, and execute it locally. So instead of connecting through API, you connect, you execute your program locally on the Yellow node, which is like a matching engine. And that's like going from milliseconds to nanoseconds, which is like when the refrigerators were introduced, you know, like it's like from going from ice blocks to refrigerators.
For traders, okay.
Yeah, so that's the part I'm more excited about coming from GSR. I see the potential there, and exchanges are going to be excited because it's more trading fees. If people can trade 100 times more, so it's good for exchanges. And the last one, which is capital efficiency, this is where clearinghouses come in. You know, so we're not exactly a clearinghouse. It's Yellow Network is more of a clearing network, decentralized clearing network, but once we bring the liquidity of the exchanges into a single place, we can have agents that act as clearing brokers and that give you a credit line based on your position on the different exchanges. So today, if you want to have 100 Bitcoin long on Huobi and 100 Bitcoin short on Binance, you need 200 Bitcoins. So your gross exposure is 200 Bitcoins, but really your net exposure is near to 0 Bitcoins. So really, it means that by working with net exposure instead of gross exposure, you can trade bigger without more risk. So you're not increasing the risk like margin trading.
Yeah.
So the clearinghouse is giving you a credit line, and this is something new that exists in traditional finance that doesn't exist in crypto. The concept of clearinghouse. So these is the three problems we're solving with Yellow Network.
You call Yellow Network a layer 3?
Yeah.
Is it because it's connecting everything?
So layer 3, it's simply because it's built on top of a layer 2.
Yeah.
So to have like high speed, ultra high frequency, we call it ultra high frequency because we go from milliseconds to nanoseconds, you know? So it's faster than high frequency trading. So in order for that to happen, you need new blockchains and all these layer 2s. And the Yellow Network is built on top of layer 2. So we are blockchain agnostic, but we work like on top of like state channels that are built on top of Ethereum or Polygon, or all these second layer solutions that are speeding the amount of transactions you can do. So we're building on top our protocol. So that's simply why it's layer 3.
Yeah. So the goal is to connect decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges, everyone together.
Exactly.
Whereas today, for example, an aggregator like 1inch would only aggregate decentralized exchanges on Ethereum.
Exactly.
Right? And not centralized exchange or decentralized exchanges from other.
Exactly. In some
layers.
ways, there is some aspect to it that is a bit like an aggregator.
Yeah.
A bit like 1inch, but more, and still over 95%, I think, in a few months ago in some stats that came out of the trading happens on centralized exchanges. And that's the choice of people.
Yeah.
That's the choice of people. I mean, it's not that we want to change that. We want to give...
It might change, but you don't know.
Well,
you just want to provide the entire infrastructure for whoever wants to trade anywhere.
Some people don't trust themselves to hold their money. That's why they hold it in a bank.
To be honest, I had my crypto in 2019. I was accumulating in 2019-20 in a cold wallet. And when it became too big, I didn't want to have it there anymore.
No, it's a risk.
Either.
It's a
I
risk
was
for your
like, oh,
family. You don't want that.
I was thinking, if I die, how is my parents gonna get this money? They
It's
won't.
terrible. It's
But
terrible.
they can go to Binance, they can go to FTX, they can go to Celsius,
FTX.
FTX and Celsius. They can go there and say, okay, my son died. Can I get the money? Why? Because we talked about Bitcoin and payments, right? And payments is huge in the real world.
Yeah.
Why is trading even more interesting? Because it's something that's most people don't even know it's happening, but actually the trading volumes are much higher than the payment volumes out there, right?
Yeah. I don't know the exact numbers. A few years ago, I think it was like 4 trillion in payments per day, which is huge, and it sounds too big to be true, but I think that was the number, And in trading volume, it was over 100 trillion, the number. But these numbers seem so huge that it's somebody should double check them. But the
Much bigger, basically.
but the trading is a bigger industry than the payment and remittance industry. It's a bigger industry. It's an industry that moves more money, and that's why I think we also need, like, we had Bitcoin to solve like this problem with payments, and now we will have Yellow to solve this problem with trading. And
amazing.
Yeah.
Let's finish this with your self-selected craziest crypto story.
My self-selected.
Because you probably have so many. You told me about 2 or 3 yesterday. Maybe you had time to think about it while you were sleeping.
Okay,
what's the funniest, like craziest / funniest crypto story?
When I have a blank, let me think. My funniest crypto story. Which one did I tell you about? Which one did you like? I when we were chatting, I told you 2 or 3, but
You told me about the plane tickets.
Yeah, that's a funny one.
You told me about. This one is more funny. You told me about the bet.
Bitcoin and poker.
Exactly.
So I always wanted people to get into crypto.
I think, to be honest, the plane ticket is better because the amount is bigger.
Okay. So
and it's related to girlfriend.
Okay.
To being nice to a girlfriend.
So I had a girlfriend, and I was after we had a daughter together, so it was important. So maybe it wasn't such a bad decision, So I was very proud to have started to make some money in crypto and Bitcoin. And so I had some Bitcoin that I had bought $100 and something. And I thought, oh, Bitcoin is like $350 now. If I buy this plane ticket, it's actually going to cost me 1/3 of the price. So I'm going to be able to bring her in business, and I'm going to feel like such a gentleman, because I'm going to buy her a business class ticket. So there was this website, it was called BTC Trip, and you could pay in Bitcoin. And I really supported the idea of Satoshi, of Bitcoin as a means of paying, like that was the original paper. So I was so happy that there was this BTC Trip, I could spend the Bitcoin. And I thought I was making a really good deal because, I was getting a $1,800 ticket for maybe like $600 worth of money that I put in to buy those Bitcoin. So that was 6.5 Bitcoins and 6.5 Bitcoins today. I guess I could charter her.
Yeah,
I could charter her like private jet or
for
something.
150K. More than that.
I could private,
A rocket ship, private rocket ship.
Yeah,
you can go back to the space center and say, hey guys, lend me the rocket for one day. I'll give you 150K.
Yeah. And that's one of the problems of crypto, that, that's why.
Low time preference.
But that's why Satoshi's, at least today, Satoshi's vision hasn't come true. And Bitcoin has moved from this means of cash to a means of holding value, a store of value.
Speculative store of value.
Yeah, so I think Bitcoin today is a store of value, and it might change in 10, 20 years if the price stabilizes.
But we have stable coins now. Stable coins.
Yeah. I think soon 20 million Bitcoin will have been minted. we're arriving soon to that event, and I think, you know, little by little, I guess there's going to be some sort of price stabilization of Bitcoin.
Where do you think this price stability would be around?
I guess around $500,000, $1 million, $500,000, but well in the future, 10, 20 years, not tomorrow.
Of course.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow, guys. Don't go too crazy.
If you start having countries that accept Bitcoin, and, you know, like Switzerland, where you can pay your taxes in Bitcoin, or so I guess that would be a fair price for only 21 million units of currency, of which probably a good amount have been lost.
Yeah. Amazing. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.